Good day and welcome to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. With me today is Joyce Reed, our Library Youth Services Coordinator, and along with Ryan Bigelow, and Ryan's our Library Manager for the City of Cottonwood Public Library. So Public Library today is going to be interesting. Always is, it never fails, and so I wanted to welcome you both. It's going to be an enjoyable day. We're right here kind of in the middle of the summertime, and so it's been warm out. So what better time frame than to actually go to your library, and as well as either the rec center, library, or a lot of places they say, well, we're going to go shopping today. But in our community, it's kind of, okay, well, go to the library, go to one of those places. So we're going to be spending some time discussing actually the current and upcoming programs of the Cottonwood Public Library, plus taking a better look at the library and what it can offer you personally as to opportunities at home or also at the physical building itself. So at home we mean by probably your computer and having access and going from there, because you can do a multitude of things, as we're going to be getting directly into with Ryan here in just a minute. I wanted to take just a moment here to kind of give a synopsis overview of the library, so a little bit of historical perspective here. So if you hang on, I wanted to go through this because I've been in our community now since 1990, and it's really kind of fun to be able to watch what's transpiring and happening at our Cottonwood Library. And the library originally, if you go back, is probably one of the older buildings in the community as it pertains to long-standing and what it actually identifies with Cottonwood. But the original Cottonwood Library had a humble beginning in the 1950s, and it was actually an extension service from the Phoenix area. So there was actually a bookmobile that came up from Phoenix in the late 1950s and actually produced books for the kids to read at the school district and everything for Cottonwood Oak Creek Elementary School District. So that was one of the things that transpired in a little bit over a year. A small building that was originally built just east of the Cottonwood Civic Center in Old Town. It was like a Quonset hut style structure, and later on after it was our library, it then moved to a maintenance building. But that was the old library where they actually put everything. Our shelves were all made out of wood with block underneath, and so they actually even had a youth section. And so it was one of those things that was rather curious to remember the pictures that I've seen. You can actually go to Clemenceau and take a look at some of those pictures from the old library. After the Women's Civic Club had identified that they were interested in developing a library, by 1959 the library had a board of trustees and also a head librarian. So they got their start and started moving forward. By 1973, they dedicated property up along Mingus Avenue, and a new library building was constructed at the current Yavapai County Annex location. So if you didn't know that, that's really kind of a really neat thing, is that you go into the old wing of the annex. That was the old library. Actually, that's the new old library. And then since that time, the Cottonwood Library has gone through 2 phases of construction since 1994. The current structure was built with a passing of a 1/5 of 1 cent sales tax, and that was actually approximately 0.2 cent sales tax in 1992, which allowed for the initial phase of the construction with a 15,440 square foot building. And then in October of 2008, an additional 8,750 square feet was added, which currently houses the youth services section of the library. This section was dedicated to the longtime city manager and youth advocate, Brian Mickelson. Now here's an interesting point, is that this fact is by June 20th, 1994, at the beginning of the computerization of the library, and on its 40th anniversary in 1999, over 1 million items had been checked out at the Cottonwood Library. Wow. 1 million items had been checked out at the Cottonwood Library by 1999, and that was because of the computer age. So really pretty interesting facts, information that you might, I don't know whether you like, that stuff, but I'm a history buff. Ryan's a history buff. We all kind of like that stuff. So I wanted to throw that in the mix today so you get a little bit of a historical perspective as to where we're going here in just a moment. Now, as we're expanding, which is really interesting as well, well, Ryan. We're looking and talking about you know, our Wi-Fi connections and computerization and the ability to get on the computer. There's something that's really unique that the library is offering, and it's called the online resources. And online resources, I want you to talk about that, because it's something that you can actually pull directly from. Now you're getting a taste of it right on the screen right now, but it gives you such an opportunity. You can spend not just hours, but you can spend days on that. Now, I got lost in it yesterday afternoon. I didn't get out of it only because of kind of a semi-emergency that transpired, but that was the only thing that pulled me off, because I was really involved in it. Now, I'd like you to kind of bring us up to speed as to what's going on with the online resources section.
Sure. So you know, libraries, people want to talk about, do you really need them anymore? How, you know, they're just books. We're going to be working with technology, not against technology, and the online resources page has an abundance of resources. As you mentioned, you can get on there and completely lose yourself, because there are so many different opportunities. My favorite at this point right now is Libby, and Libby is an extension of Overdrive. And Libby is just an app-based platform, so you can put it on your cell phone, your smartphone, or any tablet that you have, and you can download books to your tablet, both in ebooks and e-audiobooks. And that is an extremely easy service. You know, it's very savvy as far as intuitive. 1 or 2 clicks, boom, you're in. All you need is your library card. And most of these resources, all you're going to need is your library card number to get into them. So Libby is currently my favorite. I'm sure I'll find a new favorite here soon. But I also like the universal classes that our online resources offer. Universal classes will actually give you a certification. And mind you, I would remind everybody, these are all free. This is all free, provided by the Cottonwood Public Library. That's always a great price, right?
Yes,
that's what we're looking for.
Yes.
Nobody can argue with free. So the universal class, anywhere from, if you're looking for a Microsoft Excel, any publisher, any of the basic classes you can find there, you can get a certification for those, proving that you do understand that and have that skill. So universal class is one we also like to report. Ancestry.com is on there.
I saw
now,
that.
That one is one that you actually have to physically be in the library to utilize, but we have an Ancestry.com section that you can get through. So if you're looking at your genealogy, we have those resources right there on the Cottonwood Public Library's page. I guess the list goes on, and I could probably talk about it forever. Language classes.
Right.
If you're looking to pick up a new language, we're really encouraging our staff and our folks to really start trying to engage in Spanish. So some of our staff are actually utilizing those classes. I had a mom tell me the other day that she homeschools her children, and she uses our Mango to actually and get credit for her homeschool children using a Mango language class. There's RB Digital, which I also like to promote. RB Digital is another app-based program, free magazine subscriptions. I have canceled my ESPN the magazine subscription because I get it for free via our online resources. So I think I've just touched on the tip of the iceberg there. But free legal services, sorry, there's legal services there, just downloadable forms that will get you started in the legal process. Research, I'm gonna ramble on and on here. It's pretty incredible.
It is incredible. I mean, you got science, science context. You've got also U.S. history. If you're a history buff, or if you're studying, I know, like with my son, that's what he was his major. You know, he can go online, world history, United States history. You've got everything. What's so nice about this on the online resources, and you know, you actually just you basically go right into Cottonwood Public Library. You can just actually type it right on. It'll take you right over, and on the left-hand side of your screen, you just scroll right down, and basically it's the second one down.
Yeah.
It has catalog, and then you click right into online resources. Boom, you're ready to go, and you can go right into any one of these, and it's just an impressive, incredible opportunity for people, you know, as they search for more things on the web.
Absolutely, and it just fights that stereotype that, you know, oh, you have to, libraries just has books, and you have to go just for books. So we're going to fight that stereotype too with Joyce here in a minute, because there's a lot of other things. But this is one way that this community can truly benefit benefit, and everyone in this community can truly benefit from having this access. It's incredible.
It is incredible. With that, we're going to take our first break, and I appreciate the information because it's vital that you go online. It's just an incredible resource. So thank you for joining us for Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager. Come right back with us.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Use up the shelves anymore.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager. And with me today is Joyce Reed, our Youth Services Coordinator at the library. We're going to be touching base with you real quick. And Ryan Bigelow, Ryan's our Library Manager. Ryan, real quick now, who provides these online resources for us? I just wanted to give them kind of a cue in as well.
Sure. So we're part of the Yavapai County Free Library Network District. So we all kind of pool our resources together, and we're able to pay for these subscriptions essentially. And with that subscription, it just is on to the public, and the public then has the free access.
Yeah, it's just an incredible network of libraries, just awesome. Now, Joyce, and we're getting into the youth services end of things on the programming. So at Cottonwood Public Library, you've got the perfect last name, and so I just wanted to congratulate you on that. But now you've had a lot of library experience. Can you tell us how long you've been involved with libraries and library operations?
Well, I've actually been involved professionally with libraries since 1980.
Wow.
But I worked at my grade school library, my high school library, but my very first library position was in 1980. And I've worked in probably 4 different city libraries, 2 school libraries, and 1 academic library in AU. So
that's great.
It's been fun.
Tremendous experience and background. Now, we're midway through summer already, as we'd identified at the very beginning of the first segment. Tell us about some of the programming going on at the Cottonwood Public Library.
Well, besides our regular programming that we have year-round, we have some special programming just for the summer reading program. One is Tiny Toons, which is kind of tacked on to our preschool story time on Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11, and Shirley has come up with some fun crafts and events for kids to do. Yesterday they actually had a field trip to the Cottonwood Village, and they had a story time there. Great. And a craft with the people there. Right. Lots of fun. I have a program called Bebop Kids, which is on Thursdays from 3 to 4. And we make all kinds of musical instruments and talk about music and the science of sound, which is the theme of the summer reading program, Libraries Rock. Yes. And so that's every Thursday.
And that's up on the screen, Libraries Rock.
Yes. Yeah. And then the teen librarian has her Teens Rock program, the first and third Wednesday of each month, and she had a program a couple of weeks ago called Kindness Rocks, And so what they did was they painted rocks.
Okay.
And
so we have
they're
these.
putting kind messages on them.
So we have these rocks.
And they're going
rocks.
to put them around different places. Around,
Today is your day.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just things to kind of put kindness feelings out there and
into your day.
Yes.
That's right.
And so they're going to be in different places. They're going to kind of do little walking around different areas and just kind of hide these rocks and put them in little nooks and crannies for people to see.
Oh, how neat.
So.
Oh, that's great. And so you're talking about kindness rocks. Now, what you got a lot of things up here on the desk.
I brought a lot of junk with me today.
This is not junk, man. This is fun stuff. I've been caught on these things.
All of these things are the things that we've done in the different programs, the Tiny Toons and the Bebop Kids. And the very first one we had was this. We talked about the science of sound with the kids. And we talked about how sound can come through a resonator.
Right.
The cup is a resonator. And what's neat about most of our crafts is that they're all either found materials or recycled materials or very inexpensive materials that people can make things with. But anyway, the first one was this clucking chicken that we did. And it works better if you have friction by the water, but this is a resonator, and
it's a chicken. That's great.
And so they had fun making chicken sounds.
Yes.
This is very simple can drum, and these are little skewers with beads on top. And so they get, and this is a balloon, just pulled over the can and then decorated. Yeah. So they got to make.
And they have a blast with that.
Yep. So I'm not sure how happy most of the parents will be with all these things coming home, but this is called a mbira, or an African thumb piano.
Okay.
And so you can get different sounds from the level that this is just a bobby pin.
Right.
That the bobby pins are stretched out at.
And it's on a piece of cardboard.
Yep. Yeah. And we made canastas.
Oh, cool.
With bottle caps.
Okay.
We made maracas.
Maracas. How fun.
And Shirley is going to be making rain sticks.
Okay.
And hopefully this will have some rain coming to Cottonwood.
Yes, hopefully soon.
Rain sticks are supposed to help bring rain, so hopefully that'll work.
That's fun.
So.
Yeah.
But this is just a sampling of the types of things we do in youth services.
Oh, this is fantastic. So you'll be mesmerized when your kids actually come home with that stuff, because I sat there with my grandsons the other day, and they must have gone to the Phoenix Library because they brought some of this stuff up with them. And I was at my desk playing with it for quite some time. So sorry about that.
Good
that
for
was
all
just,
ages.
it kept me, I was going to say, it kept me enthralled for a while, so that was great. But that's fun stuff for them to do in
It's fun stuff, and it's neat because it's something they can play with, they learn about, and they can take home.
That's great. Well, tell us about summer reading program, because it's vital. And so give us some information about that.
It is. What's important about summer reading programs is it keeps kids reading on through the summer. And you want them to be doing that so that they don't lose, you know, what they've gained from the school year. If they keep that reading going through the summer, they're all the better for it when they go into the next school year. What's also great about it is the summer reading program. There's a lot of incentive to join and read, and it makes it fun. So reading is seen as fun, not just something they have to do in a classroom. So there's lots of incentives. They can win free books if they earn a certain amount of minutes in their reading. And we have a lot of fun books that the bookmarks, the Friends of the Library, helped us purchase to give away as prizes. And we have them for all age levels, and the kids can pick out the book they want. We don't just hand them one, they can choose a book that they want. So each child that makes the minimum number of minutes can get 3 books during the summer.
Awesome.
And then we're going to have a party on the last Tuesday for all participants to come to, and we'll have a fun music jam with Claudia Tulip, who does our Music Together program on a monthly basis. And the kids can bring in some of the instruments that they made throughout the summer.
Ah, that's fun.
And she'll bring in her drums and some of her instruments, and it'll just be kind of a fun jam, but then we'll have raffle for extra prizes.
So now can kids still sign up? Can their parents still sign up?
They can still sign up.
Good.
Yeah, we don't have a limit on when they can sign up.
Okay, so come in.
We want people to sign up now.
Right.
Yeah, we just before I left, we signed up another family.
Oh,
so.
good. All right. So please, make your way to the Cottonwood Public Library, and you can sign your children up for these programs, especially the summer reading program that's ongoing, as well as a lot of the youth program stuff that's happening as well. We're going to be taking another break here. Thank you for joining us for Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host today, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood.
There are people who struggle with addiction and homelessness. Sometimes it may feel like there is nothing we can do to help.
But there is. You can make a tax-deductible donation and help those in need transition away from homelessness.
When you give someone a handout, you could actually be supporting an addiction.
A better life starts with better health, especially for those living in the streets.
Support solutions, not addictions. You can make a difference. Visit cottonwoodcares.com.
This is Bruce Morrow, Transportation Manager for Cottonwood Area Transit. Remember, we cover the entire Verde Valley and Sedona. Cottonwood Area Transit has you covered wherever you want to ride in the Verde Valley, all day, every day. Take Cottonwood Area Transit through Clarkdale, Verde Village, and from 26 locations in Cottonwood. With Verde Links, it's a quick and easy trip to Sedona every day. Don't forget our connectors to Camp Verde. Visit cottonwoodaz.gov for Cottonwood Area Transit and take a seat. Let's go ride.
Welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. And this last segment here, we're going to be talking directly with Ryan Bigelow as the library manager, and kind of get a little bit of background here as to, maybe some of your experience. So if you would go right into that, tell us some of your experiences, with library management, and also tell us, specifically about your position with the Cottonwood Library.
Sure. Well, my experience will be much shorter than Joyce's experience. I'm brand new to the library. I've been there about almost 6 months now. My experience was primarily, or all, with the Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Department and the Cottonwood Recreation Center. So I tell people I did not have to change my commute, but you can start to see and start to feel what my draw was. I have young children. They've been participating in these youth programs, and they love it. As a parent, I've been loving it, seeing them grow and play with these toys, and just watching their minds work has been something that was obviously a real draw to me. We shared some of the online resources, and then obviously there's resources at the library itself. That was something that people were, in all honesty, questioning me, saying, "Hey, why did you make that move?
Yes.
What was going on there?" The more I started exploring that, the more I started falling in love. And the reality is, I think it's been everything that I was hoping it would be. We have so many resources. I haven't had to do a lot of work per se. I've just tried to keep what we have, and make sure people are aware of these things, and make sure that folks are going to be utilizing it, because there's something for everybody. It is a tremendous resource, and I couldn't be happier.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. And so what's been the most rewarding aspect of working at the Cottonwood Library at this point?
At this point, it really is helping people who need help, for the most part. We get a wide array of folks at the library, and some folks are less fortunate. They don't have everything that maybe you and I could take for granted. When we talk about these online resources, we're also assuming that you have access to a computer.
Right.
There are entire circles of this area within a 1-mile radius of the Cottonwood Public Library that don't have that type of access. They don't have those skills to get out in the job market, because it's such a technologically driven era that they're kind of left behind. We support that. We have, I think, 14 public computers on the adult side, 8 public computers on the youth side,
wow.
Plus tablets on the youth side. So we're introducing, you may or may not have that technology at home, but if you don't, the library is a free space to be able to explore some of those things. So it has been extraordinarily rewarding, and it really is nice to know that we're helping folks who are just less fortunate often and don't have those resources.
Yeah, and then you also have an incredibly talented and gifted staff as well. And it does my heart good when I come over to the Cottonwood Library to see these people in action, and it motivates me as well as an individual in management in the city of Cottonwood to see that, you know, they're kind of the spine of everything that goes on in the city as well. And so I think it's a great thing to see some great workers.
You know as well as anybody that we couldn't have made the move bringing me from Parks and Rec to library without knowing that our staff was strong.
That's right.
That's not a move you make as a manager. If you think that the technical skills aren't there, and they're absolutely there. It's my job to just increase and enhance those, and that's what I'm trying to do. But they're already there. It's a great staff. They're really, I hope, starting to blossom at this point.
I think so. I really do. Now, the library strategic plan, I just want to kind of identify that as we were at one of your library advisory board meetings here recently, and talking about the plan itself. Tell us a little bit about that. What's happening? What's getting done?
Sure. A lot of it revolves around not having the library tell people what we have and what it is that we do. It revolves around having the community tell us what it is that they want and what we can do to help. So it involves interviews. I've had 11 interviews with different organizations around town at this point, just asking them, you know, getting a needs assessment essentially. Where can the library help fill those gaps? You know, we have all those online resources. We are a great free resource for businesses, local businesses, learning how to use those spreadsheets or those marketing plans, using social media. We're a great resource for that. We're going to be rolling out a patron survey very soon, revolving around the folks who actually currently use the library, and then we'll be exploring a survey that hits hopefully most who don't use the library, and we'll be rolling those out in various ways, collecting all that information and then creating a 3 to 5 year plan on how we, as the library, as staff, as board members, can fill the gaps that the community has.
It's a good thing to see as both staff and I think citizen involvement through an advisory board are working together on that. So I think it's a great opportunity. Now, you recently went to New Orleans,
I did.
Louisiana, for an annual American Library Association conference. What an opportunity. Tell us about that conference and what you brought back with you.
Well, it was eye-opening in many different levels. let's just say that. But the conference itself, I was able to see how academic this field is. This is a very intelligent field. Not that Parks and Rec isn't, but boy, these folks are really smart. What they're doing. They're obviously well read, but the field is very academic. You know, a third of the libraries that we're working with are from, you know, public institutions of the academia world. So that was interesting to see. One of the stories I like to tell is that we had a presentation by MIT. MIT is looking at collaborating with public libraries across America in regards to space and play. They like to encourage their students to play and create, and that's exactly what public libraries like to do. We don't like to be stringent with a program or a plan. We like to create and play, and that was something that I'm definitely holding on to.
Yeah, that's great. That's good information. Now, right now, what are the Cottonwood Library's biggest needs and the challenges as well as issues with the library?
Well, there's a number of them, but I think the greatest need now is going to be looking forward and how we fund some of these technological adventures that we're going to go on. You know, we talk about technology and wanting to be able to be that space. You know, how do we keep up with this stuff? It's moving so quick. Where do we stand with that? And that's going to require some funds. But you know, we are unique, I think, in the city where we have a 501c3 nonprofit whose entire mission, the Cottonwood Bookmarks, is to support the library in that sense. So whether there's some small purchases, some large purchases, they're able to support us in achieving our goals and our mission, and it's a wonderful service. And I hope more people know that there is a Bookmarks, and they can get memberships, they can buy books that are very cheap at the library through the bookmarks, and they can support our bookmarks. Everybody shops on Amazon now, right? There's an Amazon Smile program. You choose the Cottonwood bookmarks as your support group, and essentially then portions of your purchases go to the Cottonwood bookmarks. So there's ways to support the bookmarks and support the Cottonwood Public Library.
That's great. Now, Library Lines is coming out on July 2nd. Can you tell me about this publication and how the people can get their hands on it?
Library Lines is an in-depth look at everything that we're doing and everything that we're hosting too. You know, we host a lot of events and classes that aren't ours necessarily, that we're just providing the space for. We got an $18,000 grant. We have a wonderful space for these programs. So the Library Lines can be found online at ctwpl.info. We have it online there. We're going to shoot it out through our Facebook. The Cottonwood Library has its own Facebook page, so we're going to shoot it out there. And of course, you can come to the library and pick one up as well.
There you go. Now tell us what's upcoming here real quick.
Oh boy. We have family movies. We have a new program called Tech Time, which we're really excited about. It's a one-on-one engagement with some of our staff to learn about how to work with any of your devices. We have a GED training program that's been coming in regularly. We have classes, the artist corners, so we have a corner dedicated to local artists so people can come in and engage with our local artists. It goes on and on and on. So
you have Andy C. coming up.
Oh,
here,
correct.
Was that July 14th?
Yeah. What is it? Right. July 14th. Andy C. and his Swingin' Jamboree are going to be in town. And that is something that Joyce was able to connect us with, and it involves with our summer reading program, Libraries Rock, the instrumental part and music part of that. So all these are free.
That's awesome. Well, thank you both very much for joining us today. And libraries do rock, and it's just an incredible opportunity that you've got here locally. It's one of the best libraries in northern Arizona. So you visit your Cottonwood Public Library and enjoy all of the incredible things that are going on. Ask them at the front desk what you can do to help them as well as what they offer. Thank you for joining us for Inside Cottonwood today. I'm your host, Richard Faust, Community Services General Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Have a great day.